Welcome to Nerd on Nerd with me, Ellie Kempster.
And me, Leo Underwood. And if things sound a little bit different this time, there's a good reason for that, isn't there, Ellie?
We're in the same room.
Recording on the same microphone.
Whoa.
Ooh, this is the future of Nerd on Nerd. It's not. This is a special episode. We are trying an idea that is awful.
It's going to be fine.
It's already 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
we should have started this at like 12.
Listeners, just to let you know, this what we're doing is going to take us at a minimum 9 hours. So we're going to be doing this till 1 a.m. at this point.
If we'd have started at 12 with time for food breaks in between,
we'd have finished about 10, 11.
Maybe midnight.
We could have gone to bed early. Oh, can you imagine, Liam?
That would have been good, wouldn't it? So the idea, it's an easy one. We're going to watch a film series from start to finish. The film series we have chosen to kick things off. It's not Halloween.
No.
It's not a particularly spooky time of year. Don't really know why we've chosen it.
We've gone. It's the new year, Liam. New year, new us. Let's do Paranormal Activity.
There's 5 Paranormal Activity films and a spin-off.
And a seventh, five in the main series, 1 spin-off, and an unofficial 7th one from Japan, but we're not doing that one.
No.
Liam vetoed that.
For good reason. So here we go. Paranormal Activity 1. We've both seen the first one before.
Yep, we're going to rewatch it. We're going to check in after every film, just update you on what we thought of the film. But also, it's less of a review, because it's also sort of how we're dealing with the fact that we've got 9 hours of Paranormal Activity to watch. Will we be more scared by film 5?
Or will we have killed each other? Come back later to find out.
That's a real possibility.
Yeah, I want to go on record now that this is a terrible idea.
And I want to go on record and point out that this was actually Liam's idea anyway. This whole idea. So, we'll see.
Bye.
Who knows? This could be a one-off, Liam.
Like that time when we did the one-off D&D video.
Yeah, exactly. This could be a complete one-off, or it could be the start of something big and new for Nerd on Nerd. See you in, literally, listeners, see you in you'll hear what we're about to say now-ish. Bye.
We'll be back to talk about our thoughts on Paranormal Activity 1 imminently.
We just finished watching Paranormal Activity 1.
I liked it. I thought it was a good start to this film series.
Yep, I've got a feeling it's going to be the best of the bunch.
Potentially. I am wishing, after watching the first one already, that maybe we'd picked something a bit lighter to start this experiment with.
Yeah, we've got in the deep end.
I was thinking, while watching it, I was like, oh, maybe we should have done something like Scary Movie.
Yeah, that would have been a good shout.
That would have been a good,
Yeah, we should do... This is what this segment should be, is what other series should we have done instead of Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, because we've gone, it's a good film, but it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
It's not exactly, fun.
No. I'm not sitting there, when we're watching it, I'm not sitting there terrified, but there are definitely bits where I'm like, oh, a jump scare or something is about to happen.
Although the first one isn't that jumpy.
It's not very jump scary. There's actually, to be fair, I don't even know if there are any jump scares.
Which makes me nervous, because I feel
like it's going to go downhill and they're going to be like, jump scares work.
Yeah. So, neither of us have seen any of the sequels.
I'm not sure if I've seen 2.
Okay.
I don't think I have, but there is a chance I have.
I definitely haven't. So, what
do
we
think? Does it have the baby in the crib? Is that a thing? I feel like I've seen...
Yeah, that might be...
I don't think I've seen it then. I think I've seen trailers.
What do we think is going to happen in number 2?
From what I've heard, and from how that film ends, I'm guessing we're either going to go to another part of their family, because she has a sister, I believe.
Yeah.
So we're either going to do that, or the Paranormal Activity 1 does set up a few plot points that are very obviously, here's a sequel idea.
Yeah.
So we're either going to go to the sister, to the past when she was a kid, or to the 60s when Diane, a lady that is literally just in there as a name, she had the exact same shit happen to her. So, although that'd be quite interesting if they go back to the past, because cameras won't be as good. So would it be a high quality camera, and then they'll have to make that a plot point? We're trying to film this ghost, and I've just bought a futuristic HD camera.
Do they keep with the found footage for all of the sequels?
That's true. I feel like 2 does.
Yeah. So, what would you give the first one out of 5?
I genuinely think I'm probably going to agree with you we have spoken about this, listeners, just to let you in on the secret there. But I think it probably is a 4.
Yeah, I think a solid 4 out of 5. Like, it's a good film. It's spooky. It doesn't, like, overdo it.
No, I think seeing it a second time maybe doesn't ruin bits, but it makes it less scary.
Yeah.
Like the leg scene, which is the scene everyone knows.
Yeah.
That's like there were like a couple of scenes around that point. I was like, oh, this must be the leg night.
Yeah.
And then it was the leg
I remember, like, the first time I watched it, sort of, like, every time it would become night, I'd be like, right, brace yourself. And then as soon as, like, day happens, you're like, oh, okay, I can kind of relax a bit until it gets to night.
And that's
again.
quite cool when they start changing that, when it starts happening in the day.
Yeah.
I think that even got me then when we were watching it, because I was like, oh, it doesn't happen in the day. Why is this happening?
Yeah. But yeah, I think a solid 4 out of 5. Let's see if number 2...
Well, before that, Liam, how are you feeling? Just in general, of the how's the marathon going? With one film in, 5 to go.
We started it a bit late, I'll be honest. It's now 6:15 at night. We've still got 5 films to go. So
someone in the group didn't sleep till 5 a.m. last night.
Yeah, it's not ideal. Like, I'm not feeling optimistic or particularly happy.
I do have a feeling, listeners, that one of these reviews is going to be us coming back in here and Liam saying, I slept through that film, I'm feeling better now.
Or just me being like, I'm done with this.
That's entirely possible.
Just done.
I don't know if that happens, whether I should carry on. I don't think I'd be able to watch them by myself. I think I might cry.
No, I think you should carry on, and I'll just sit in here playing board games or something.
By yourself?
Yeah, with Kat. Because I do feel bad that Kat's just sat by herself in a different room, having to be quiet and out of the fun, but she doesn't want to watch the films. It's her own choice. We invited her, but I feel like she made the right choice.
Yeah, it may have been the correct choice.
Alright, so here we go. Paranormal Activity 2. We'll take some selfies as well.
Oh yeah, we need to put some pictures up of how things are going.
Cool. See you intermittently. No, that's the wrong word, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, for the listener, it won't be intermittent. For us, it's intermittent.
Yeah.
But for them, it's just a roll-on thing.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was number 2 that we've just watched. Paranormal Activity 2.
Fast 2 Furious.
Yeah. 2 paranormal, 2 activity.
Very good, Liam.
That's the way to do it. Okay. So I haven't seen this one before.
No, turns out I have.
Yeah. So this was all new to me.
What did you think?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked the way... So, like you said earlier, the twist in this was much better.
Yeah.
Does mean that the alternate ending that we watched is not the correct ending. No. We did also watch the theatrical ending, so we could follow what happens right at the end. No spoilers?
Yeah, I think we should probably avoid spoilers.
Yeah.
Because that's not the point of this. But
no, but yeah.
If you watch the alternate ending of Paranormal Activity 1, you're not watching the canon ending. It looks like theatrical ending is the canon ending.
Exactly. That bit I didn't particularly care for in this. I liked like the previous stuff where you're figuring out where this takes place and there's certain characters from the first that appear. I liked all that. I just didn't like once you get like essentially the very, very ending.
It'll be interesting to see if the extra bit that we saw at the end there ties into any of the other films, because if it doesn't, then I don't think they should have done it. I think it should have cut.
But it might. It's been left open.
I mean, this is... So also, we should say, because about 5 minutes ago to the listeners, we were trying to figure out what this one would be.
Yeah.
Set around the same time.
Yeah, well...
predicted it could be the past.
It was a little bit before.
Very slightly before. But not the 60s yet. We've not had... I'm hoping one of these films is like 60, whatever it was. Was it 60 years ago or was it in the 60s? I don't know. But
the first film took place during October 2006, and this one takes place during August 2006.
Yeah.
So I liked the mum in this one.
Yeah.
She's good.
Character names. We've just watched it.
Yeah, I can't.
Linda?
No, I don't think it was Linda. Cool. I know the daughter was called Ali.
The daughter was Ali. The dog was Abby.
Yeah, I liked the dog was good. I think they should have given more clarity at the end of the dog. Personally, I thought the teenager girl as well did a good job of not being annoying.
Yeah. So far, yeah. The kid couldn't act annoying really, the young one, because he's so young that he's not really acting. You know, I feel there was a lot of man behind the mum holding like a tennis ball to get the kid to look at it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the teenage girl did really well.
Molly? Is that the name of the... No, wait, I'm now very confused.
Oh god, we've lost Liam.
Hang on, Molly? Oh wait, no, that's the actress name. Never mind. Ali is the daughter.
Yeah.
The mum was Christy.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Christy. So there's been a trend that we've noticed in the 2 Paranormal Activity films we've seen so far. Mm-hmm. Terrible male characters.
Yes, all the male characters are dicks.
Yeah.
They inevitably are the skeptic who doesn't believe in it and will sort of not believe in it for most of the film.
Yeah.
To the point where there is very obviously paranormal stuff happening and they're like, no, we're not going to solve this problem.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah, it's wind.
Yeah, exactly.
As we've learned, it's all wind.
In this one, we did also have Martine, who is like a housemaid / nanny.
Yeah, Hispanic housemaid nanny who... It's a little bit weird. Is it the sort of... I think they went a bit stereotypical with it. They were stereotyping her a little bit. Like, oh, she's the Hispanic maid who is clearly religious and also knows how to protect her house from ghosts.
Yeah.
Which is, a bit of a trope.
Yeah, but I liked that kind of like mythology adding to it. That like...
Yeah, they are in both films. They have expanded on the mythology of how all this works and what it means, and which is quite good.
What did disappoint me is that we still haven't seen a demonologist.
Yes, there's a demon. Oh my god, you got me doing it.
Yeah,
there is a demon.
Here we go.
There is a demonologist.
Yeah,
referenced in the first one.
Yeah,
and I do still think we've got 4 more films. I think in one of these films we're either possibly the spin-off. That's where I think it might happen. I think the spin-off might be. Because there's a reference to he's away for 2 more days. Yeah. So I've got a feeling that spin-off is going to be where he was. So he might get introduced in another film.
And I'm hoping he has a goatee, because I just feel like a demonologist should have a goatee.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Also, the psychic didn't come back in this one. They didn't have any psychics.
No, and that was... I would have liked that.
I want him to be a recurring character that just comes, walks in and goes, nah, this is bad, and leaves.
Yeah. There was a couple of like nice little touches that tied into the first, like the Ouija board.
Yeah.
That was pretty nice. The only thing that I'd say, like, one of my main negatives is in the first one, like the classic, like the iconic Paranormal Activity shot is the camera set up and you've got like a bed in like the centre and to the right of the frame and then a door in the left. And like it's weird how even though you don't really want to see anything happening,
you're staring down the hallway.
You find yourself looking for what is going to happen. In the shots that are similar to that here, where you have like static shots of rooms, all of the rooms were a lot bigger and a lot busier. So you had to really like scan to see what was happening. When something happened
in the first film, it was very obvious. And this, you would catch it, but you might not catch it as it started. It would start doing something, then you'd go, oh, that's happening. Like, like the fire. Yeah. That was a very like, suddenly there's a little light and you're like, oh, something's happening over there. I need to look over there.
And I think like it's entirely possible that there could have been subtle things happening in this one that I maybe missed if it was subtle enough.
Yeah, but I also it's weird because I agree with you, but I also I like the way, even though the 2 films are set with a very similar like here's a camera, you're watching it through it's found footage. This one, instead of being one camera that they're carrying around and using as the static, this one's security cameras. And I kind of hope that it doesn't just fall into being like, oh, and it's more security cameras. Like I'd like it if they change it up a bit each time. Like, oh, what camera are we using this time?
As long as they don't kind of do one that's entirely Skype, because that would be...
I have seen one of the DVD covers in there does have a girl lying on a bed, and it very much looks like a Skype camera, so I've got a feeling we might get one.
Because there is, I can't remember the name of the film now, where it is all told through Skype conversations.
Yeah.
It's not Unfriended, or is it?
It might be Unfriended.
Yeah, there's Unfriended and Friend Request, and it's not Friend Request. Yeah, so Unfriended, I actually quite like that film, but I just feel like if Paranormal Activity start doing it, I'm going to be like...
But we should look up if there is one that's like that, whether that was like... Yeah. Whether Paranormal Activity got there first and other people copied them. Because that would let me forgive it a bit more.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
I was like, oh, well, it was... they kind of did it.
Yeah. How are we feeling at the moment?
I'm still good. I'm still... I mean, we're a third of the way through. Yeah. We're about to get food.
It's 8:30 at night.
8:30. We're about to get food. I'm still ready. I'm still happy. How are you feeling, Liam?
I'm okay. Like, I've enjoyed the 2 films that we've watched so far, which is good. I was a little bit nervous that we'd hit number 2 and it would just
immediately be bad. Yeah. I can't imagine it's going to stay good.
No, but if each one slips down by like half a star, I can kind of deal with that because...
At the very least, I think 4 or 5. I can't remember which one it is. There's one in there where the front cover just looks insane, and I can't imagine that one's going to be good.
No.
It could surprise me.
But if it slips down half a star each, we've got 2 more that are going to be passable to average.
Yeah, and then we get
2 shit ones, which I can deal with that.
Liam's saving his nap for those ones.
Yeah. This one for me was a 3.5 out of 5.
I completely agree.
It's still like it's a decent sequel, but I think it does also suffer from the thing that most sequels do, where it's like you kind of know how the game is going to be played now.
Yeah, it didn't change up too much. There were a couple of things that it did, like because we spoke about in the first one, it following this like everything happens at night and then it starts to change. This one's just like right at the beginning. It's like nope, we're not following that rule, which I like. Yes, you don't want the exact same build up of a film where you're like, well, yeah, exactly. I know that eventually it's going to change. Yeah, this is just like nah, Ghost doesn't care.
Nah. Well, Demon.
Sorry, Demon.
I would like to find out more, because I think it was touched upon maybe in the last one, like the history of the demon, which I'm sure is going to happen.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get. When this demonologist appears,
we're going to find out all about the history.
Yep.
But until then, next up we have Paranormal Activity 3.
We'll speak to you in like 1 minute, listeners. For you, this is great. You're just breezing through it. For us, we have like an hour and a half gap in between where we watch one of these films.
Probably longer if we're all doing food and food gets here.
Yeah, true.
So, catch you later.
See you in a bit.
So that was Paranormal Activity 3.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
It's, we're definitely diving... This one dives more into the past.
Yeah, we were right. We've hit the past film. This is...
1988.
Yeah, young kids.
Yeah,
ghosts.
Young Katie and Kirsty.
Christy. They've also decided they've taken the film on a route that I don't think has been implied in any of the other films.
Witchcraft.
I don't think they said that in any of the others.
Nah.
No, suddenly witches.
Witches, covens, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. More jump scares, less normal scares.
Yeah, which is a shame.
It's a shame because I find that in a jump scare film, it preps you for jump scares, which means that I spend half the time just being like, oh, well, a jump scare would fit here, and I don't particularly want to be jump scared, so I squint at the screen. And I'm not scared, I'm just like, I don't really want to jump.
Yeah, it's more just annoyance.
Yeah, which is what this film became.
Yeah, and the shame of it is there were some techniques that this film used that were really cool and effective if only it hadn't have been so jump scary.
Yes, the good scares in this would have worked way better in a film that wasn't jump scaring you non-stop.
Exactly. So shout out to the oscillating camera.
Yeah, that's a good... I believe both me and you said, fuck the oscillating camera.
Yeah, like, great idea for a film like this.
Terrifying.
Yeah, not fun.
No.
Children, creepy children.
Yeah, very creepy.
I feel like, as well, so the first film was made on a real small budget. And I feel like with the last one and now especially this one, starting to notice a bit more budget. There's a bit more CGI.
I think the list of stunt credits is increasing as we go on.
You got a bit more like floating and that kind of like
like floating on camera and
pulling and all that sort of stuff. Rooms
flipping upside down or whatever.
Yeah, lots of that fun stuff.
Yeah.
How do you think it compares to the previous two?
I think it's the worst so far.
But out of 5?
Maybe a 2.5.
I'm still going to go with 3 because I did find it quite creepy at times. I could have done without the jump scares.
Creeps. The end was shit.
The end was pretty poor.
Yeah, just didn't need any of that at all.
Yeah.
The reveals and twists, I'm air quoting their listeners, were just pointless. In my opinion, are bad. If the films now follow this.
It feels like it's... So the first one didn't really... Like, what was the twist at the end of the first one? Obviously without spoilers.
That's an impossible question to answer.
Because I feel like the second one had a good twist. And now they just getting into a habit where they're like, oh, every film has to end with a twist.
Yeah, and this one they were just like, we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Which is... I think we're technically spoiling number 3, but I'll be honest with you listeners, don't watch this one.
It's not.
Stop at 2.
It's average.
Stop at 2 and just go, oh wow, that was good.
There's some cool moments in it. But yeah, it's just...
You do get to meet Ryan, who has become my favourite character in the entire Paranormal Activity series.
There's that. The camera quality for 1988 is pretty superb. So
Incredible.
Don't need to worry about that.
Blu-ray. I said that very weird. Blu-ray.
One thing that I noticed more in this one than the previous two is how it does utilise surround sound.
Yes, there was a lot of like tips happening behind us.
Yeah, that was just super fun.
Yeah,
like
great.
I felt like the other two didn't really do a lot of that.
No, they were like, oh, it's happening all around you, but
this was
really.
very specifically like I think at one point like someone whispers or like says something behind you.
Yeah.
And there's like banging going on. Yeah, it's just.
I think it was also set up with that in mind, almost because there was certain like one of the cameras that's set up in it is set up so that a very key part of the film is behind you the whole time.
Yes, exactly.
And you hear that thing happening a lot, from the corner.
So that was just fun. Really pleased I got the surround sound set up in time to do this day.
Yeah, great.
Just brilliant. How are we currently feeling?
Tired. We've underestimated how long it would take. We have 2 films to go and it's already 11:30. We're nearing midnight. Just to let you know, listeners, tomorrow is New Year's Eve. So I don't super want to be up incredibly late doing this.
No. So we've already decided to ditch one of the films.
Yeah, we're dropping marked ones, which we think is a spin-off. So fuck it.
According to IMDb, it's a spin-off. It's listed in the same section as that Tokyo one that we said at the start we were dropping.
Exactly. So unless you want us to do Tokyo Paranormal Activity 2, Tokyo Nights, we're not doing Mark 1s.
Yeah, and if we were to try and do those 2 on top of the 2 we still have outstanding,
we'd be dead.
We would be up very, very, very late.
Yeah.
Which neither of us really wants.
No.
So at this stage, we have 2 more to go, which is still hitting our 5 minimum.
Yep.
For whatever this idea is called.
NoNathonalong.
NoNathonalong. Hashtag. What do you think, like, how do you think it's going, just that idea at the moment?
I like it still. I think it can work. I think this was poorly planned, today's one.
I think we needed to have started earlier, which is neither of our faults.
No, technically it's not. It's both our faults.
Neither of our faults.
You weren't up, and I was also not up.
Yeah, so neither of our faults, really. But, you know, this is a learning experience. Really, we could just knock it on the head here and say, well, we learned. But
no, I'm alright.
So we've got another one to go. And then,
Paranormal Activity 4.
Yeah.
And then Paranormal Activity Ghost Dimension.
Which we have the potential to watch in 3D, maybe. We'll see.
I don't know if I can. After watching that one, where a lot more stuff was being thrown at the TV, don't know if I want to do that one in 3D.
Well,
I'm already not a fan of the jump scares. Don't know if that's actually
going to be... Jump scares and 3D could be an interesting
I imagine that film is just going to be literally non-stop. They're going to be like, oh, where are we going to set up this camera? Oh, I don't know, pointing at this machine that fires balls at the screen.
Like that tennis ball machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? We'll see. That was Paranormal Activity 3. We're about to start Paranormal Activity 4.
I hope to fuck it gets better from here.
I didn't think 3 was as bad as you're making it out to be.
Well, I think you're going to be sorely disappointed in 4.
Oh, I think 4 is going to get worse.
I'm also going to be disappointed in 4.
Yeah. I think so far it has matched that thing that I was expecting of each one dropping by half a star. So in theory, I should find the next one average still.
Whereas if it drops half a star, will be at the 2 mark.
Yeah.
Which is bad.
It's poor, yeah.
I've got a feeling it might drop more than that for both of us.
We'll be back soon to find out.
We just finished the fourth Paranormal Activity film. They're all blending together, Liam.
No, we've done 4. They're pretty distinct, I think.
Very distinct. They're not the same at all.
No. So, 4th one, slightly better than the 3rd, I think.
It's gone first.
Yeah.
Best. Second best. Then
4th.
the 4th.
Yeah.
Then the 3rd.
Yeah, 3rd's been the weakest. 4th, I liked the teenage characters in it.
Yep, surprisingly good.
There were some issues.
Liam didn't like that towards the beginning, the teenage girl was not... I think sexualized is the wrong word, but there was a romantic thing going on between her and another teenage boy that was a bit overly sexual.
Yeah, I think she was being... Well, I think the problem is because he was sexualizing her and we were seeing things from his perspective, it just felt a little bit wrong. Yeah. But whatever. It had creepy kids back again. The mythology is still expanding. It
feels like they realised what they did wrong with the 3rd one. They went, you know what? People don't need 20 minutes of witches. So we're going to do the 4th one. We're going to drop that. We're going to go back to our roots. we're modern day, in a house, with new camera style again. They keep changing that up. It's still like that.
We didn't have the oscillating camera this time, which was both a relief but also a slight disappointment.
Yeah, we went to Connect camera, which
Would you like to explain how that works?
It's spray. It has a lot of infrared sensors that cover the room, and if you're looking at it through an infrared camera, it's just green dots everywhere, so you can see things that are moving that you can't see with the naked eye.
Yeah, things like
ghost
children.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Still not 100% sure what Toby is, because we've had varying accounts. He's a giant monster in the first one.
Yeah.
He is hundreds of years old in the second one. Third one.
Third one, yeah.
I think in the second one he was still just a big monster.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this one, when we see him in the infrared camera, he's just a small ghost child.
Yeah.
So a little bit confusing. Was the other kid meant to be Toby or something?
I don't think so.
No, I didn't think so either. I just suddenly thought of it because I was like...
But I don't understand. I mean, it's hard to discuss without going into spoilers.
It is.
Really.
I'm very tired.
But I don't understand how one of the children in this one is supposed to be a child from a previous one.
Yeah, no, it made sense.
How?
He got part for adoption.
But he was kidnapped.
Yeah.
And then we see the person that kidnapped him with a different child.
Yeah.
So she at some point would have gone, I'm going to put him up for adoption. And gone, that was a mistake.
New kid. So
I can retrieve the original kid.
This new kid's a bit shit. Get the old one.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the next one will clarify this.
I hope not.
What I do like is how we keep seeing little bits from like previous films, but slightly extended. So we see a bit in this one at the start from 2, which didn't actually play into this one like I thought it would.
No, you were expecting this big necklace reveal.
Yeah, doesn't happen.
No.
So what was the point?
I think it's just. I don't think there is a point. I think they're just showing clips from the old films. We've had it in every other film.
Okay.
But like you say, just with like a bit of extra, like in the third one, we see an extended scene where they're like, "Oh look, here's a bunch of VHS tapes."
Yeah.
Which they didn't actually show in the other film.
No.
First one didn't have a clip from another film.
No, that would have been weird. Yeah. But the second one links into the first one quite nicely.
Yeah.
With clips and stuff. Yeah.
How spooked are you, Liam?
I feel like I'm getting less spooked as it's going on.
I think the witches aren't helping.
No, the thing is, I normally like witchcrafty stuff in films.
Yeah, but these are like the shit type of witches. I like witches when it's like, oh, it's a human that's doing this like weird, messed up stuff, and like, why are they doing it? And then they have motives. Whereas these witches are very much just like, I want this demon to have a host. Yeah, and that's it. That's their entire plot point.
Yeah, it's a shame. I think the thing is, they're kind of, each film isn't exactly doing hugely different scares.
No.
Like, it's basically distant scraping and thudding.
Yep.
Which slowly escalates to get louder and louder. At some point, a room will shake. Doors will open and close or slam by themselves.
Yeah, Toby loves opening a door.
Yeah,
and slamming a door.
It all eventually escalates to one of two things, usually both. Someone levitates.
That didn't happen in 1 or 2. The levitation's a new thing.
It definitely happened in 3.
Yeah, it's 3 and 4.
Are we sure it didn't happen in 2?
Don't think it does. Don't think there's any levitation.
Okay.
I believe the levitation started in 3.
Okay, well we get more of that in 4.
We do get some more levitation.
And the other thing that we get is the dragging out of bed. Or just across rooms.
Yeah,
that sort of.
likes to drag.
Yeah.
Toby's got a small repertoire of moves. And, he uses them well. Also, Toby has become somewhat of just a distraction at this point in the films.
Yeah.
Like, he spends most of the film being the main, like, oh god, there's this demon doing stuff. But then towards the end of the film, it sort of becomes, oh yeah, he's still doing stuff, but actually he's not the thing you need to be worried about. Here's this other thing going on.
Which is? And
you're like, oh, well, I'm sort of scared of the monster and less scared of the creepy people.
I don't know, the 30 women coming at you.
That was too many women. They didn't need that. That was a wild amount of witches.
This one also has a bit more CGI and it did some like weird demon faces towards the end, which...
Unnecessary.
Yeah. Didn't help.
No. Yeah, because they're just meant to be witches. Although she's maybe not just a witch. The one...
She's possessed, isn't she?
Yeah.
So the other thing I liked was it didn't quite go the whole hog with the Skype thing like Unfriended does, which is good.
Yeah.
I liked how it was used in this.
Yeah, no, it genuinely worked well. It was not what I thought it was I was expecting to be like, oh, what a useless thing. And actually, I think they did it quite well.
Definitely.
The characters in this one do make a few more one of our running complaints throughout Paranormal Activity, aside from maybe the first one, has been, why are you not watching these videos that you're recording? Yeah. And this one definitely takes no one is watching these fucking videos. What was the point in recording any of it?
Yeah.
Because this one, there's about half the film where she's not checking the cameras.
Yeah. And that's a mistake.
Very obvious evidence everywhere.
Yeah, that is definitely a mistake that she's making there. I did like the actress that played like the main sort of teenage girl, and I liked the guy that played Ben.
Yep.
But he is punching way above his league.
He was like 14 in this film.
Yeah. But like, okay, I don't want to be mean to the guy.
Yeah.
Not hugely good looking. Like the character, not the actor. The character.
Right, oh yeah, because that's different.
And also the character, I think, wasn't like hugely like funny or charming. Like, I don't get how he gets her.
His whole like, oh, look, I need to show you this spooky thing that's on my computer. By the way, I have recorded a bunch of our video chats, but my computer does that by default.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, no.
That was basically put in there because they needed that plot point.
Yeah, but at the same time, if I was her, I'd be like,
oh yeah, creepy. Dude, creepy.
Don't be fucking recording me sleep.
What I did like was the sort of fake out one of the first drag in this one.
Yes,
I thought that was quite good.
Bit dangerous.
Bit dangerous, but I liked
I wouldn't be trying that, Liam. Don't be doing that to Kat, because she'll kill you.
Oh yeah, she would not be a fan.
Can you imagine?
I would get throat punched immediately.
You would be so throat punched.
But yeah, I think for me this is still a 3 out of 5.
Mine's gone up to 3 out of 5. I was 2.5 on the last one.
Yeah.
We've gone up to 3.
I think for me the last one was a low 3 and this one is a high 3.
Okay. Mine's just easy because I've done 4, 3.5, 2.5, 3.
3. So next is probably going to be a 2.
Oh, I don't even know. I'm expecting the worst. I'm expecting the next one to be just non-stop jump scares, which will mean that I don't want to watch it, so I'll have my eyes squinty the whole time.
We're going to attempt to watch it in 3D.
Storyline. Oh my god, yeah, we are.
We're attempting to watch the next one in 3D. We don't know if it's going to work, but we'll give it a go.
It means we lose surround sound.
We're losing surround sound, which wasn't really used that well in the last one, I didn't think. The third one's the only one that's really made the most of that.
Yeah, 3 had the best surround sound.
So yeah, we're losing surround sound, but
gaining a third whole dimension.
The ghost dimension.
That was very good, Liam.
Should we end that there?
It's called the ghost dimension, in case you didn't get that, listeners. Bye.
Bye.
We've bloody done it, Liam.
Well, sort of.
We've nearly done what we said we'd do at the beginning.
We have done 5 Paranormal Activity films.
We've done the core franchise.
We have not done what IMDb lists as the spin-offs.
No, we haven't touched the spin-offs.
But I think that's allowed, I think.
Yeah, because it's 4:45 in the morning. This is overrun significantly.
I mean, if we'd have started this, at like midday and given us time for breaks, we could have probably had it done by like 11 at the latest. Yeah. Quite comfortably.
Yeah, we should have done that.
Yeah, instead we started it at about 4.
And then we were very reluctant to carry on the films and we kept taking long breaks.
Yeah. Well, it was the longest...
We took quite a long break to do a mystery box.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So anyway, we're sidetracking here. We've just watched Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension.
The Ghost Dimension.
Which we did watch in 3D.
I'm glad we did.
To be honest, I think it would have lost something if we hadn't have watched it in 3D.
Yeah.
A whole extra dimension.
Exactly. We'd have had 2 dimensions.
Exactly.
Not that third ghost dimension.
So before we dig into the film, how did you think the 3D went?
I don't like the fact that most of the film isn't 3D.
I don't know if it's but there were huge
periods.
Amount.
There were huge periods where I was doing this. Liam can see that I'm tilting my head back and looking under my glasses.
Yeah.
And the film was not in 3D for a lot of the bits that I was like, is this 3D? No.
Okay.
It was pretty much only the ghost camera.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah. This film has a ghost camera.
Obviously.
For the ghost dimension.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then everything else was just 2D.
Yeah.
And I didn't really... I get it, but also, if you're making a 3D film, just make it a 3D film.
Commit to the 3D.
Yeah. Don't tiptoe around 3D.
Okay. I'm definitely pleased we did it in 3D. I thought most of the 3D worked well.
They avoided, until the end...
Until like the last 5 minutes.
The cliche 3D thing that everyone hates, where something flies directly into your eyes just for the shock value.
Yeah.
They do it at the end. They do a couple, and there are two that happen that I was like, you know what? That's fine. It fits in. But there is one that is just gratuitous, like, oh, it's 3D. Look at this.
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about.
You do. Yeah. Yes.
So
Liam did a gesture.
Yeah.
We're avoiding spoilers for now.
We'll dig into that in a little bit. Yeah, I agree. I think they earn the right to do the things that throw in your face because they had restraint and they didn't do that until right at the end.
No, there were a couple of bits that were almost in your face but weren't quite.
There was one bit that really worked for me because I was watching it and then, like, I think the camera angle changes and suddenly there's a little girl, like, real close to you, which I was just not expecting.
Yeah.
That worked quite well, I thought. But yeah, most of the 3D worked well. There was a couple of bits that were utterly atrocious.
Yes, completely.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Which wasn't just 3D, but also a CGI issue there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird though, because again, like, some of the CGI in this film looked good. Like, the bit that I'm specifically thinking of the bit where, like, when he's at the foot of her bed, the first time he's really seeing it on the ghost camera, and it's like that pillar of black. And that looked good. Yeah. I wasn't like, oh, that look like obviously it's CGI, but I wasn't sitting there being like, oh, that's so out of place. I was like, oh, that works.
Story wise,
bit of a weird one.
It didn't really do too much witch stuff.
No, I was just thinking that we saw the witches, but in videotapes.
Yeah, from the past. So one thing it did do really effectively was the bit where it's the videotape from the past that's commenting on the people in the present watching it.
Yeah, that was good.
That was particularly.
Although we both missed what the big, like, because something happens in the videotape that sort of proves, oh, they're looking at right now.
Yeah,
and me and you were both like, sorry, what? What happened? But luckily,
they
did the classic American. Just in case you missed it, we're going to explain it for you.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Which we actually did need.
Yeah. So thank you.
Thanks, America.
Yeah, acting wise, it's alright.
Not incredible. A couple of the characters didn't need to be in the film.
No.
Although one of them was a good character, he just didn't need to be in the film at all.
Yeah. The script wasn't anything great. I don't know. The question is this better than 3? Because 3 was the worst one so far.
I think 3 is the worst of all of them. And I think this was better than 3, marginally. Because 3 I just didn't like. This I at least came out of and was like, you know what, it was shit, but I enjoyed how shit it was, and like, they tried to be funny, and that doesn't fit with the rest of the franchise at all.
No, but
we were laughing.
Yeah, for me, I think marginally worse than 3, and only because
you didn't see 100 witches at the end.
No, the thing with these films is, okay, so 3 went down the jump scare thing too
massively,
much. Yeah, but when these films work best is things like the oscillating camera, where it's all about building suspense. That tension,
which this does not have.
This doesn't really.
Yeah, there is no suspense in this one.
No, and in all of the previous ones, each one it will flash up saying like night number 1, for example, with a date, and this one did it.
Yes.
But in all the previous ones, when that flashes up, you're like, oh, shit's about to get spooky. Yeah. In this one, I never really felt that.
This one feels like every other film has a progression in it where, like, the ghost is getting stronger over time.
Yeah.
And by the end, you're getting, like, all these big things that it's doing.
Yeah.
This film does that very quickly right at the beginning. There's, like, a couple of minutes of the ghost being, like, weak.
Yeah.
But you're also physically seeing it being weak.
Yeah.
And then it's a black pillar of smoke, and then, like, they tried to make it seem like it's getting stronger, where they're like, oh my goodness, it's huge now, and you're like, it's a big ball of black smoke. It's pretty much the same as it looked a minute ago.
Yeah.
So it does, it does miss out on the suspense building of the other ones.
Yeah. I think really this one is all about the gimmick of the 3D.
Yeah.
And everything else kind of, I think it's left behind a bit. Like, literally the story, the characters, the plot.
Yeah.
Like the dialogue, everything else is sort of second to, oh look, it's ghosty stuff in 3D.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I appreciate, like, after especially doing 5 in a row, it was kind of nice to have.
Yes, this was a genuinely nice break from the others, where I was like, this doesn't feel like it fits in with the rest of the franchise.
But I think, like, comparing it to, like, 4, for example, I really like the characters in 4.
Yeah.
This, there was a couple of good characters, but no one I was, like, really like, oh, I like this person a lot.
Well, There was one that you did that for, but not because she was a good character.
No, and she wasn't really in it.
No, she was not. So. She was one of the characters that didn't need to be in the film.
Yeah. So I think for me, this is the weakest of the entire franchise, but only just below 3.
I just hated 3 so much that I can't bear to give it anything other than the worst.
I don't think I hated it as much as...
I really didn't like 3.
Fair enough. So I think this
3 scarred me for the other films. Like, I spent a lot of that film squinting, and I didn't need to. Because there were whole jump scares in that film that I was just sitting there, and I was like, oh, yeah, there's a jump scare.
This one didn't have that many jump scares in it, I didn't think, which was good. So for me, this is going to be a 3 out of 5, but, like, below 3.
This is also a 3 out of 5 for me, because I gave 3 a 2.5.
Yeah, if I'm ranking...
So my ranking's easy, because I can just give it a 3. Liam now has to clarify what type of 3 he's giving this.
So if I'm ranking all of them...
This is your 3rd film you've given a 3.
Yeah, if I'm ranking all of them, it would go 1,
yep,
2,
yep,
4, 3, 5.
Whereas mine would just reverse the last 2.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
No, not the last 2.
Yeah, I'd swap 5 and...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
5's your worst, 3 was my worst.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, now, how are you feeling?
I'm tired. It's kicked in.
Yeah, I got to about... When that film started, I was like, oh, I'm getting a second wind and waking up a bit. And about an hour in, I think because the film wasn't, like, amazing and really captivating, I was like... I started to feel it. Yeah,
where it was 20 minutes left to go, where you checked the time and you went, I'm very tired. I was like, well, we're nearly there. We just got to get through this last bit.
Do you think this as a concept has worked?
Yes. I think it needs better planning.
But that's on both of us.
Yeah.
That's something we can adjust.
Yeah, exactly.
So, now we're going to do spoilers.
Yes. So we can actually try and figure this fuck out.
Yeah, this franchise gets a bit twisty-turny in the mythos. And we're going to get to the bottom of it.
If any of you are planning to watch the Paranormal Activity films...
Maybe in one day, maybe not.
Who knows? Give this bit a skip. Just, you've heard our ratings.
What more do you need?
Yeah, but if you want to hear us try and figure out how the hell this all ties together, or what any of it even means, then stick around for literally right now.
Yes.
Because everyone else should have turned it off.
So from now on, spoilers. So, let's try and
Toby's a big old spooky ghost, isn't he?
Yes. If we go through these one at a time, so if we start off with the first one, Toby is ever mentioned in the first one.
He's not called Toby in number 1. He is the demon. A demon. A nameless just demon. A big old demon. And in number 1, you see his footprints, and they are very clearly like almost... I think he has 3 toes, and they're like lizard feet.
Yes.
So you're very much like, oh, this is some sort of creepy demon that's not human.
Yeah.
There's not much lore in number 1, I don't think. It was more
which does throw up a continuity error when it comes to number 5. So in number 5, Toby has normal feet.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant the fact that they don't go over lore. Yeah, No. The continuity error in what Toby looks like is apparent through every film.
Yeah. Yes.
And I don't know whether that's part of it or whether it's just... they don't know what they're doing.
I don't think they necessarily sat down at number 1 and planned out a 5-film franchise with a consistent sort of run through.
But I mean, in the last film, in 5, Toby doesn't look that scary when you actually see him.
No.
And I was like, why not just make him a lizard monster thing? I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
At this it's no worse than what you're showing me, which was just sort of a spooky face in a cloud of gas until right at the end when he's just got human legs. And you're like, well.
So, first film introduced us to Katie and Micah.
Yep. Katie kills Micah.
At the end.
We watched the alternate ending where she kills herself. That's incorrect. The canon ending is she kills Micah and they announce Micah was found dead. Katie is not being seen since.
It ends with a stupid jump scare where she runs and headbutts the camera. That's the theatrical ending.
Did she headbutt the camera? No, she threw him into the camera.
Did she not let him run and headbutt it or no? I thought she ran
at it. No, I think she headbutted it, but I think she threw him into the camera, then the camera was on the floor, then she did that whole crawling over the body, sniffing it.
Yeah.
And then I think she looked at the camera and then went Rah!
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be Paranormal Activity without an attempt at a jump scare right at the end.
Yeah, it wasn't a great one.
No.
So, then we have number 2, which I think 2 does the best job of building the mythos while still tying back to previous stuff.
Yes, because the twist at the end of 2 is a genuinely good twist.
Yes.
That I didn't see coming. I don't think you did.
No, definitely not.
But genuinely blew my mind. I believe I audibly gasped and turned to you and was like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Because
even though you'd seen the film before.
Yes, I'd forgotten it.
Yeah.
You're following Katie's sister, her younger sister Christy.
Yeah.
And her family, who are being haunted, like we said when we were reviewing it 3 months before or a few months before the first film. They're being haunted by the same thing, this demon.
Gets a name in this one, doesn't it?
I believe it's this one where someone calls it Toby.
Yeah, I think so. Because this also has the kids, Hunter.
Yeah, but he's really young, Hunter. Does he say Toby? He's a baby in this one.
That's
I don't
true.
think it's this one. I think it's the third one where he got named.
Yeah, you might be right.
I don't think he gets named. Or she. We don't know.
No.
So you're following that family. Mm-hmm. All the spooky stuff happens. And then right at the end, they bring back their Hispanic mysterious woman who can cure ghosts. Who reveals that she can do a ritual to pass Toby on to a family, like a relative of the family, Katie, and it turns out that the dad of that family passed it over to Katie without telling his wife. His wife wouldn't remember anything, which is how Katie got haunted in the first place.
The only downside is one of the twisty smart bits in 2 sort of ruins one of the creepier bits in 1, which is when Micah finds a slightly burnt photograph of Katie in their attic.
Yes.
And it's like, the creepy part of that is just how the hell did that get there?
You're like, oh my god, this demon's like
been
burnt their house down and then brought this photo with it. And then it turns out that that's part of the ritual to pass it over to her.
So presumably at some point...
took it over there and went, oh, chuck that in the attic.
Exactly.
Don't know how he got in their attic without noticing.
No, but...
Who knows?
I'm sure it's doable.
Yes. So that's the big twist there. You're like, whoa, this is insane.
Yeah.
Although it's kind of weird because also in those ones in both 1 and 2 they speak about how as kids they had this similar stuff happening, right? Which is setting up a lot of stuff that happens in 3, 4, and 5 with them as kids. But if the demon was already following them around their whole lives, why did any of the stuff in 1 and 2 matter in terms of... Because we later find out in 3 that the demon... that there's this whole idea that the reason the demon's following the family is that someone in the past made a deal with the demon.
Yeah, for power
or money or something else. Mm-hmm. And in return, the demon is waiting for the first son to be born. Yeah. And throughout their history, back to the 1930s, no son has been born to the family. Yeah. Which is why it was haunting Christy in the second one.
Because she's just had a son named Hunter.
Yes. So that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But then also... the passing the demon on didn't work. It comes back and kills him anyway because
it possesses Katie.
So this whole build up is then sort of slowly eradicated by later films that are just like, well, actually, here's the real reason. And then you're like, well, doesn't quite tie in.
Yeah. So 3 introduces a completely new family.
No,
I'm getting confused with 4.
3 is the past. It's young Christy and Katie. Worst film of the series.
It is 4 a.m, so this is why it might be hard to string this all together.
You've got Dennis, you've got the mum.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Don't remember her name.
And the grandmother.
This is when witches happens.
Yeah, the mum is referred to later as Shoulders, so I think that can be her name.
Someone does call her Shoulders. Yeah. So you're following them. Yeah. Witches. It's all bloody witches.
Basically, it ends with a coven after mostly Christy has been dealing
Christy seems to be the focus of Toby. She's the one that Toby the ghost or / demon is hanging out with. Yeah. Katie in the film, nothing.
Not really.
She's just being also haunted because Toby attacks her sometimes.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. You then find out Grandma is a witch. Yeah. She's got a coven. Yeah. Does some creepy shit. The girls don't really know who died or something. They're all happy. Toby's her best mate. Yeah. Sorted.
That's how that ends.
Yeah. Breeze through 3. Fuck it.
4. Whole new family.
We're back to the present.
Yeah. Well, so 1 and 2 take place in 2006. Yeah. 3 takes place in 1988. Yeah. 4, I believe, was 2011.
Yes. 5 years after. Yeah. That'd be that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brand new family.
This is where I get confused.
Okay.
So, let's try and figure this out. Yeah. At the end of 2, Katie kidnaps Hunter.
Yes.
In 4, it is revealed that Hunter has been adopted by this new family.
Yeah. They call him Wyatt.
Yeah. Katie moves into a house across the street, but also has her own child named Robbie, is it?
Yeah, Bobby or Robbie. Yeah, Robbie. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if she kidnaps Hunter in the second, by the fourth, somehow she has to have given him up for adoption, then acquired another child of the same age. It just doesn't make sense.
So, here's my personal theory.
Okay.
I think, because there's all this stuff about, in this last film, there's all this stuff about how only Hunter and girl in the fifth film, Leela, they're like these two prophesized children who can bring around the birth of the demon.
Totally.
And bring him to a physical body.
Yeah.
So, I think for Hunter to become that, he has to not be a creepy little fucked up kid like Robbie, and he has to be raised by people, because Katie's just a possessed woman.
Yeah.
Who is like not going to be able to raise a kid properly.
Yeah.
Hence why Robbie's so messed up.
Okay.
Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she gets another family. She puts him up for adoption. Gets another family to raise him. This is my theory. So that he becomes a normal kid that she can then convert to the witch ways.
Why wouldn't a creepy kid work?
Probably just a bit weird. You wouldn't want to hang out with him, would you?
What if it was a coven of witches or a demon?
To be fair, we also learn at some point, not in this film, probably in the next one, that there is a man who is a member of the same cult.
Yeah.
Who seems to be the leader of this coven.
Or at least a teacher within it.
Yeah, well, they describe him as looking like the leader, and he sort of acts like the leader, and he's teaching the kids who are sort of psychic, all these things. He seems relatively normal, aside from the trying to summon a demon into the real world.
Apart from
he
that.
was probably like, that Robbie kid's a bit bloody weird.
Maybe.
I don't want Hunter, who's like our little king.
Yeah.
I don't want him being a weirdo.
It seems weird to me.
No, you're right, Liam. I'm desperately trying to make it work, and I don't think it does.
It feels like so each one tries to do a little twist.
Yeah.
And the twist in 4, it feels like, is supposed to be the fact that Hunter is the adopted
Yeah, you're meant to think that Hunter is Robbie.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's Wyatt.
Yeah.
And that was their twist. And it's shit, because it means that they have to... It makes no sense. You're right.
Yeah.
Katie should have just kept him. It would have saved a lot of time.
For all we know, though, this could all be explained in one of the spin-offs.
Marked ones.
Or Tokyo Night.
Or Paranormal Activity 2, Tokyo Night.
Then in 5...
This one.
Yeah, the latest one. It's all about...
Brand new family.
Completely
no tricks
new family.
here. No pretend hunters.
But we do have a ghost camera.
Ghost camera. It can spot ghosts.
Yeah.
It seems to run off something.
Mm-hmm.
It was in a box of tapes. It doesn't maybe use tapes. It has scan lines.
Yeah.
Doesn't need them.
No.
Bit of a weird effect.
And we see footage from the Coven in the past teaching young Katie and Christy
how to use their psychic abilities.
Yeah, we see one of the tapes interacting with present day.
Christy can link her. She's like, Toby's like her best mate.
Yeah.
And she can see through Toby's eyes, but Toby can travel through time and he can be anywhere.
Yeah.
So he's in the future, or now,
yeah,
trying to get Leela, who's a girl that was born on the same day as Hunter, so that he can bring her back to the past, so that he can get his own body in
using
the past.
a drop of her blood.
Yes.
Yes.
You think they're going to sacrifice her? That's the big twist in this one. Oh, you think Leela's going to die? No, they just needed a drop of my blood, mummy.
Yeah, and Wyatt's there, / Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter's in the past too now.
Robbie's gone.
Robbie's gone.
Don't no one cares about Robbie.
Probably chucked him out.
Yeah.
Oh, but if I was Toby,
I've
got Hunter now. Don't need Robbie.
No, exactly. You don't see adult Katie in this one either.
No, first film you don't see adult Katie in, which is a disappointment.
And this has also been described by the producers as the final instalment, and I feel like there are still questions.
Well, I read someone saying that this film answered a lot of questions, and I don't think it did. Having watched them all, this one didn't. All it did was say, like, what happened to the girls, and even then, it doesn't really fit in with any of them, because, again, at some point in between these girls being raised to be psychics and Paranormal Activity 1 and 2, they have to lose their entire memories.
Yes. We also never see the house burning down, which was a significant plot point in several... Yeah.
They constantly talk about this house being burnt down.
Yeah,
we never see it get burnt down.
We thought we wouldn't. That's how we thought the third would end, but no,
No, witches turn up. And then they reference it in this one and say, oh, the house we're living in now used to be this other house where they lived. Yeah. And that burnt down. Yeah. Fucking show us.
Yeah, exactly.
We do find out some more about Toby.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Yeah. Does the events of this one actually erase all the previous films?
No.
Because surely if Toby...
has his own body.
Takes on a physical form in the past... Yeah. Does that not then essentially split off into a new timeline?
I don't know. I mean, the main problem, Liam, is, and this is immediately a paradox, even before Toby, the camera that they have in this one, the ghost camera, they get that because someone in the past from the cult was using that camera to record ghosts. Yeah. At the end of this film, the mum also travels back in time by crawling through a weird tunnel. Yeah. She travels back in time with the ghost camera and drops it in the house. Yeah. So, did they pick up the ghost camera that they brought to the past? Is it just one of those objects that's now stuck in an eternal loop? Paradoxically, no one got it from anyone. It's just always been there. Ghost camera. Toby's a man. Who knows?
No, but no, because...
Do they crush it right at the end?
It would have had to have been in the past. It couldn't have been stuck in a loop because it was filming all the stuff from the Coven, right?
So they had a spare one. So now the past's got two.
Yeah, essentially. Unless, like you said, maybe it gets crushed at the end.
Possibly.
It's not very clear.
I don't know.
It's another one like we have to end on a total jump scare.
Yeah. But yeah, Toby's this... We find out Toby's one of the 7 princes of the apocalypse or some bullshit.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
His picture in the book is a terrifying goat monster with 6 eyes. They bring him back into a physical form, and from all you can see, he's just got very big, manly legs.
And a hand.
He's kills someone, holds a little girl's hand, sort of limps away. Yeah. Toby's back.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really understand why you'd end it with this one. I feel like you need one more just to kind of wrap things off and clarify a few things.
I guess what it does do, and this is a thematic choice that they seem to make in a lot of the paranormal activities, and now I'm thinking about it, you know what? This fits in thematically with how Paranormal Activity always works. Mm-hmm. Because in every Paranormal Activity film, the good guys lose. There is never a good outcome in these. No. Paranormal Activity 1, she kills her husband. Yeah. Kills herself in one version.
I mean, the husband is annoying, but yeah.
He is. Paranormal Activity 2, the whole family dies. Kid gets kidnapped.
Not the whole family, the teenager survives.
Oh, Ali comes back. Yeah, but she's not part. She's stepdaughter.
Yeah, true.
Paranormal Activity 3, the mum and the dad, the stepdad die. Yeah. Paranormal Activity 4, everyone dies again, I believe.
Does the teenage girl?
Yeah. Didn't she? Right? Didn't he, like, the demon sort of threw her against the bed and did he kill her? I think it was implied she died. Okay. Paranormal Activity 5, they bring back Toby. And that's the end of the franchise. And I get it. Like,
quite a few people die at the end of 5. I feel like, here's the thing. You could have gone with 2 different paths after this one. Like, if you wanted to. And I feel like the only reason they've stopped is because they were like, right, we've done the oscillating fan gimmick. Okay, well, let's go through gimmicks. The first one, the gimmick is the whole recording them while they're sleeping. Yeah. That's the gimmick.
That's the new idea.
2, the gimmick is the security cameras around the house.
Yeah, it's very similar to 1. It's just a different type of camera, which I'm fine with. That's fine. That was enough of a change for me.
3, it was an oscillating fan. That was the gimmick for 3. Yeah. And also it being in the past, I guess.
But that is the gimmick. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that is once they introduce the oscillating fan camera, becomes like the key to a lot of the spooky bits.
Yeah. 4, the gimmick is the Kinect.
Yeah, the camera.
Yeah. And then 5, they've gone, where'd you go next? Obviously 3D.
3D ghost camera.
How do you top that?
Yeah, you don't. Smell-o-vision.
Doesn't work. VR is really the
only way.
I think
that's the only option would be they're waiting for VR to be big enough that they can do Paranormal Activity. Yeah. Ghosts everywhere for VR experience.
So I think there's a couple of different things they could have done. They could have gone down like the unfriended route and done an entire one through like a Skype call.
Yeah.
It would just have been a gimmick.
Four's really covered
four touch on it. I'm just thinking if you don't shoot your load and do 3D.
Yeah, alright.
How do you stretch this out? You do like either entirely Skype, like CCTV maybe?
Yeah, I could see CCTV being one.
Something like that. I don't know.
Or all through dash cams.
Yeah, like there's a couple of things they could have done, but now they went 3D. Honestly, I think that's the only reason we haven't got more, because story-wise, you had another one that just explains, right, if Toby's now real, does that eradicate this timeline? The second path you could take is, like I said, Toby is one of the 7 princes of whatever. Yeah. So we start looking at the other 6.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine Toby versus Brian?
Or can you imagine if each prince had spawned 5 films of their own, and then us trying to do this marathon?
That'd be great.
That'd be what, like 35 films?
It would be insane. It'd be insane. I'd do it for the team.
I mean, it would be like 3 days.
Solid. I genuinely want a film that's like from the perspective of the kids, and where it isn't trying to be creepy. It's not trying to be like, oh, look at these scary kids.
Well, the kids, because the kids always react very like...
They're fine with Toby.
They're like, oh, this is someone for me to play with. Yeah, they're going to run around. I'm going to jump off things.
And a lot of the time, I'll admit Toby is mean a couple of times where he does things that I'm like, all right, Toby.
Like yanking him out of bed. Or...
You're trying to drown a kid in the bathtub, Toby.
Yeah.
That's not okay. But he also does things like, hey, climb onto that really high ledge. And you're like, oh, God, this kid's going to jump off and break her legs. No. Toby catches him because Toby likes him.
Yeah.
At the end, he holds her hand. He holds Leela's hand. And he's like, hey, let's go do something.
You're my wife now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He does a lot of wifey stuff with the kids. He's probably not that great.
No.
Turns out, Demon of the Apocalypse probably shouldn't be on his side.
Yeah.
I would like to see the X-Men equivalent of these kids who are all psychics doing some badass learning from the creepy cult.
Okay.
Hanging out with Toby.
One thing, we never do see a demonologist.
No, I'm so annoyed. We see one psychic in this whole franchise. We see a priest.
One priest and one... Is it a psychic or just a ghost expert?
No, the guy from the first one said he was a psychic. Okay. He couldn't remember what a haunting was called, though.
Yeah, but he's a psychic.
He said that ghosts were his entire life.
Yeah.
But he couldn't remember. He went, what's this thing? A haunting.
Yeah. But that's...
Yeah, they reference the demonology. He's got to be a marked one.
Oh, you'd hope so, right? But also, this one does at least... I think we were saying earlier, none of them get someone else in to try and fix it. This at least gets a priest in.
And he does a good job.
And he has that excellent line that you're a big fan of.
Honestly, my favourite line, maybe in this entire franchise, is the priest going, look, what they've told me we need to do is unorthodox. We don't need an exorcism. We need an extermination. And I was like, oh yes.
Yeah,
they're going to battle Toby.
Yeah, he dies.
Yeah, he gets killed.
Yeah.
As do a lot of people.
Yeah, 5 really does. Just the end of 5 is just, let's kill people.
Everyone's going to die in maybe the most graphic one. Because usually, this is the thing, these films have such a big build-up, and usually the way everyone dies is someone breaks their neck. Camera. You get thrown at a camera, you get your neck snapped very quickly, and that's probably it.
Yeah.
In this one, there's like, someone dies and vomits acid on someone.
Yeah.
Someone gets an arm through a chest.
Yeah.
Toby does break a neck right at the end, just to keep the tradition going.
Yeah.
Because, why wouldn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
It's great.
Yeah. So that's 5 Paranormal Activity films done in one day.
And our attempt at fixing the timeline of them.
Yeah. We think this idea works.
We're going to see when we edit this all together and release it as a bonus episode on our podcast.
Yeah, I think it'll be about an hour long.
Yeah, it will.
So, look forward to that. Let us know, do you think this works?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Just tell us.
If you do, if you don't, doesn't matter. We might try this again. Give us some ideas of different film series we can try. I think for
5
now,
is a minimum.
I think for now we should stick with 5. Yeah.
No. We fucked up. We picked a weekend. We picked the weekend before New Year's.
Yeah.
And right after Christmas. So I couldn't come down a day earlier because I was doing stuff. Yeah. Usually I'd come for a weekend. And if we had a whole weekend, we could have just easily done this.
Yeah, I think that's... You come down like a Friday night, we chill out, catch up Friday night, Saturday, get up at a reasonable time, get cracking. That's probably most of Saturday done.
Yeah.
And then we'd probably still have a couple of hours Saturday evening.
Exactly.
I think, yeah.
We could have done it. We planned poorly.
But
we've done it. We got there in the end.
Yeah, we did the 5.
It's 4 a.m. I'm getting up in 6 hours to leave.
So it's gone well.
For New Year's.
I don't know when this will be going up. Don't know when the next one after this will be going up.
No idea.
But these aren't set to a schedule. These are just as and when we can.
Yeah,
and when we
just
feel
like
it.
A fun experiment by us.
I'd like to do Transformers at some point, but I think that's a lot of films, especially when you add Bumblebee in.
Oh yeah, Bumblebee's coming out.
It's out.
Yeah.
Twilight would be another one.
I mean,
I've seen them all before. Is the thing.
And it's just going to be like, yeah, it's fine.
I mean, Amanda sent us a whole list, and one of that list was James Bond, which I think
We reckon it's about 48 hours total.
Yeah, it's got. I think it's at least 22 films in James Bond. At least.
We're going to struggle. Lord of the Rings extended editions plus The Hobbit we could do.
Yeah. Harry Potter / Wizarding World, which that would include Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, that's long.
She suggested something called The Thin Man, which I'd never heard of before. No. Andy Hardy, which I'd never heard of before. Gidget. She said 6 or 7 if you count the TV movies. Never heard of that before. Tammy. Guess what?
I've never either.
No. Pirates of the Caribbean. I've heard of that.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of them.
Star Trek. That's
a lot.
That's like 13, I think.
Including the remakes, like the new ones.
Yeah, the J.J. Abrams one. Yeah. Mission Impossible. That's doable. That's doable. Die Hard.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that could work. The Jack Ryan films.
I've never watched them.
Same. Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, we're up to 5.
Up to 5
Gonna
now.
be 6 by the end.
Herbie the Love Bug.
I've seen some Herbie films in the past. Don't super remember them.
I don't think it'd be a great day. Gonna be honest. Road to ... I don't know what series that is.
Oh, is that like? No, I don't want to say because I'm probably wrong.
What?
No, it's fine.
Okay. The Muppets.
Oh yeah, I could do that. Muppets would be a good one.
Pink Panther. And then Amanda also sent a list of feature film series.
Oh, don't read this list, Liam.
No, I'm not going to. But
I think Alien and Predator at some point.
Alien and Predator would be good. There's a few slashers that would be good.
Terminator.
Yeah.
That's a good one for the theme. Oh yeah, Bourne. Yeah.
There's a few.
Yeah. We'll see.
I think Phantasm would be quite fun.
Yeah, I've never seen them.
Yeah, they're bonkers.
Okay.
And I think they have a very similar thing with what we've just watched, where as they progress, it gets harder and harder to piece the timeline together.
Got you. That's my favourite kind of film.
Yeah, I thought you'd appreciate that.
I love a good trying to figure out how this all works.
Yes. So I think Phantasm's going to get my vote for the next one we try.
We'll see.
80s slasher.
Yeah.
Fun. Or something like Scary Movie.
Yeah, the problem with Scary Movie is I was a fan of 1 and 2, and then the rest are kind of shit.
I've only seen 1 and 2.
Oh, it's like the problem with all those. I don't know what you call that franchise, and like because they had like
Epic Movie or something. Yeah.
The problem was when you're a kid, like 13, 14, they're fucking hilarious because you're the exact right age to find the shit jokes funny.
Yeah.
And then as you get older, you're like, oh no, it's literally just. It's not even like funny on multiple levels. It's just look, this alien's peeing out with his finger into his mouth, ha ha, and you're like. Okay, yeah, that joke works once. I'm done.
There's 5 Final Destination movies.
I've never seen a Final Destination film.
I've seen...
We should wrap this up. We don't need to list all the films we've seen and not seen.
That's true. Put it this way. If we continue this, we have plenty of options for future series that we could do. I think it'd be good to do one that isn't horror next.
Yeah.
But also, I'm just very aware that there are a lot of horror.
Yeah, horror's
it's an easy
one that does this kind of thing.
Yeah. So, I've been Liam Underwood.
I've been Ellie Kempster.
It's 4:22 a.m. It's time for bed. Good night.
Night.